Imagine a moment when a wild bares its teeth, raw, merciless, unforgiving. Death hangs in the air, and yet, in the middle of that brutal truth, something rises that defies instinct, that shatters the laws of nature. High on a parched branch, draped like a rope against the sky, a colossal rock python coils tighter and tighter, and within its crushing grip, a lion cub. The tiny body writhes, fighting for breath, every muscle of the serpent rippling with terrifying precision, suspended between life and death. It is a sight almost too cruel to bear. Against a vast, cloudless blue sky, brutality has taken form. Below, the lioness roars. But this is no roar of power, no proud command of the queen of the Savannah. This is the raw sound of a mother breaking. Her golden eyes glisten, not with dominance, but with despair. Her cub, her world, dangles above her, life slipping away with each tightening coil. She paces, she roars. She throws herself toward the tree, but she cannot reach. The instinct to protect, the instinct that makes her the fiercest of hunters, means nothing against the unrelenting embrace of snake. And so she pleads. Her roar cracks, reshaped into a sound the Savannah has never heard from her kind. A cry of helplessness, a plea that tears through the wild night, begging for a miracle. Not far from the tree, a figure waits in silence. Immense, still, watching. A male gorilla, colossal and calm, eyes black as obsidian, reflecting a quiet intelligence. At first, it seems a mere bystander, another piece of the wilderness, detached from the scene. But then the lioness turns. Her eyes, those fiery golden eyes once filled with authority, now brim with something entirely different. Surrender, desperation, a plea for mercy. For a lioness to humble herself before a primate is an inversion of nature itself. They are strangers in the wild. Their worlds rarely cross. And yet, in this moment, all walls crumble. Pride dissolves, leaving only the sacred pulse of maternal love. She begs him, wordless, raw, undeniable. The gorilla meets her gaze. And in that exchange, something passes. Something older than predator and prey, older than the laws of the Savannah. An understanding, a recognition of suffering. The lioness is not asking as a queen. She is asking as a mother. The air itself holds its breath. The plains fall silent, heavy with anticipation. Then he moves, shoulders tense, muscles rippling beneath his massive frame. Slowly, with purpose, the gorilla rises, not for dominance, not for battle, for rescue. The python senses a shift. Its coils tighten cruelly, as if aware that its moment of triumph is being challenged. Its lidless eyes fix coldly on the approaching giant. And the gorilla climbs. Bark tears beneath his enormous fingers as he ascends with impossible strength, each movement deliberate, unwavering. This is not his realm. Gorillas are creatures of the ground, masters of power, not of heights. Yet still he climbs, propelled not by instinct, but by something greater, resolve. The python twists, preparing to strike. But the gorilla does not falter. He unleashes a roar, not the roar of a predator, but defiance, of warning, of will. His hands, massive and unyielding, seize the serpent's body. The coils strain, muscles like steel cables resisting, but the gorilla pulls. He pries, he wrenches, each motion driven by a force beyond survival, by compassion. Below, the lioness roars again, this time not in despair, but in raw encouragement, her voice lifting into the canopy, as if lending her strength to his. The python writhes, fighting to hold its prey and ward off the stranger. But the gorilla is relentless. His fingers dig deeper, his weight shifts, his strength unshaken. He pulls, twists, and yanks with determination born not of instinct, but of choice. And then it happens, a sharp, decisive wrench. The coils loosen. Not much, but enough. The impossible has begun. Immediately the cub, though weak and exhausted, slipped free from its mother's embrace and tumbled from the tree. But the lioness did not hesitate. With a lightning-fast leap, she caught her cub in her trembling arms, pulling it close before the ground could claim it. A sigh of relief seemed to ripple across the Savannah itself. The tiny cub nestled into its mother's chest, frail but safe. She licked his tangled fur with desperate tenderness, her eyes locked on the gorilla who had made this moment possible. Then came her roar, no longer a cry of fear or threat, but a sound that carried something deeper. It was gratitude, a raw, resonant acknowledgement that reached beyond instinct. Her gaze stayed fixed on the gorilla, no longer separated by the ancient lines of predator and prey, no longer divided by distance or suspicion. Only respect remained, only gratitude. And in that fleeting moment, the invisible walls between species seemed to dissolve. A lion, king of the savannah, had been saved by a gorilla, a creature of the forest who rarely ventured this far. Together, they had rewritten the laws of the wild, reminding us that power does not always exist to conquer. Sometimes it exists to protect. The gorilla had wielded its extraordinary strength not for dominance, not for survival, but for life itself. What hidden reserves of compassion might we all carry, waiting for the moment they're needed most? As the dust of that encounter settled, a new silence fell over the savannah. Not the silence of fear, but of something unspoken, profound, because some moments are not just seen, they are felt. They linger, whispering truths we too easily forget. The gorilla did not stay. As soon as the cub was safe, it descended the tree and turned away without a sound. It sought no glory, no recognition. Its choice was pure, untouched by pride, an act of kindness that defied every instinct the wild had written into its bones. It left behind a moment that would never be forgotten, a story where compassion rose higher than survival, where connection triumphed over difference. The tale of the lioness, her cub, the relentless python, and the gorilla who became a savior is more than just a scene in the wild. It is a mirror, a reminder of what lies within each of us, that greatness is not measured only in strength, but in the courage of the heart, that even in the most unlikely places, compassion can flourish where no one expects it. What drove the gorilla to act? Perhaps we will never truly know. But whatever it was, it ran deeper than instinct. It was empathy, a flicker of humanity that revealed itself in a world that often hides it. And in that truth lies an invitation for all of us. In life, we may find ourselves as a desperate lioness, the fearless gorilla, or simply the silent witness. What matters is the choice we make when another's pain stands before us. When compassion knocks, do we answer? Do we dare to step beyond the boundaries of self-preservation, to reach out and help? That day on the savannah showed us that real strength is not only about surviving, it is about the courage to care, to connect, to act. If the story touched you, if it lit even the smallest flame of hope, then carry it with you. Share it. Let it remind someone else that kindness exists even in the harshest corners of the wild. And if you believe in the power of these untold stories, like this video, share it and subscribe for more. Because sometimes the most extraordinary tales are not just about animals surviving. They're about the hidden courage that unites us all. Now tell us, in your life, what moment showed you the unexpected power of compassion? We'd love to hear your story.